Has anyone ever told you that you're an alcoholic? Do you label yourself as an alcoholic? Is that how you define yourself? What if I told you that the reason you drink so much is not because you're an alcoholic, but because you suffer from a much deeper problem? What if in this video I showed you what that problem was and how to fix it? And what if by fixing it, you not only were no longer addicted to alcohol, but you were no longer addicted to anything? Did you know that most people who suffer from addiction suffer from multiple addictions? It's very rare that someone who suffers from addiction gets addicted to only one thing, one substance or one behavior. So that fact alone is almost proof that just because you're addicted to alcohol does not make you an alcoholic. Alcohol is just one of the vices you use to deal with a deeper problem. So then the question is, what is that deeper problem? What is the cause of addiction? Why do we become addicted to things? Instant gratification is the temptation to ignore a future benefit in order to obtain a less rewarding but more immediate benefit. It's the desperation to feel good right now, despite the negative consequences in the future. An addiction is the love child of your affair with instant gratification. Addiction is the habit you've created of resorting to instant gratification in order to feel satisfied. Alcohol, tobacco, drugs, sex, porn, junk food, spending your money, all of these things have one thing in common. They are all easy ways of giving yourself immediate pleasure. But in most cases, they have negative consequences. But people choose the immediate pleasure because they believe they will just suffer without it. Think of it this way. Let's say I'm trying to sell this DeWalt drill on Facebook Marketplace. In its current condition, it's worth like $80. But let's say the first person who responds to my ad only offers me $20 for it. If I desperately needed the money right now because I was broke and needed to eat, I would probably take that $20. Even though I know it's worth more. But if I didn't need the money, I could afford to wait until someone gave me the $80 for it. And that is exactly how I look at instant gratification. It's choosing a less rewarding but more immediate benefit because you are unable to wait for a more rewarding future benefit. People who suffer from addiction are desperate for instant gratification. They are desperate to feel good right now because there is not enough good in their life for them to be able to deprive themselves of the things that give them instant gratification. Maybe they lack love, healthy relationships, mental stability. The types of people who are prone to suffering from addiction are people who are struggling, people who are in pain, people with fucked up childhoods, people with mental illness. The idea that all you have to do is have a drink and all your problems will disappear is a pretty convincing argument to someone who is desperate to feel good. Because the reality is, feeling good naturally takes a lot of fucking work. It takes a lot of work to build a life that provides a consistent source of sustainable pleasure. And when life gets tough, why would you walk 1,000 miles in order to feel good when there's a drink sitting right there in front of you? It's easy to understand why people succumb to addiction. That source of instant gratification will always be there. That drink, that drug, that sexual act, that Big Mac, that temptation is always there. As soon as you choose instant gratification once, that temptation will be in your head for the rest of your life. That's why addiction is so difficult to overcome. Because as soon as you succumb to it once, it will be a lifelong battle. Now, before I forget, please do me a huge favor and click the like button, subscribe, and don't forget the bell. Desperation for instant gratification is the foundation that addiction stands on, and without it, addiction will have zero power over you. So to defeat addiction, all you have to do is learn how to resist the temptation of instant gratification. It's that simple. And to resist it, you need to have things in your life to fall back on. A safety net when times get tough. Things in your life that will support you while you deprive yourself of pleasure. These things could be anything that gives you inner strength. things you are passionate about, hobbies, goals, dreams, aspirations, people, relationships, loved ones, family, friends, spouse, your kids. Love for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Self-acceptance, self-respect. All of these things will help protect you while you deprive yourself of instant gratification. The bottom line is, I don't believe you are an alcoholic. I don't believe you're a drug addict. I don't believe any of those labels are accurate. The only thing I think you are addicted to is happiness, just like everyone else. Every single human on earth just wants to be happy. And that's something that we all share. But the way you're going about obtaining happiness is just not the best way. It's the easy way. The immediate, less rewarding, more destructive way. But if you figure out how to fill your life with things that give you inner strength, you'll become less prone to succumbing to instant gratification and less prone to suffering from addiction.